Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and welcome to my live stream. I'm going to talk about the iPhone 14, which is the iPhone that I will be getting on the channel. Let's see where we are here. I'll keep the volume somewhat down. 14. Okay. And if the lighting looks a little bit different, I know it was more of a tannish color. I had to replace the bulb on this because it blew it out on me. I've had this lamp for 5 years. It's a gooseneck lamp. It's a pretty nice desk lamp. It makes things easier to see. So I'm planning on getting the iPhone 14 to unbox for this channel. And also, really quick, I should share I recently started a week ago a TikTok channel. I guess I can turn this off for now. I gotta wait till tomorrow to change it, as it still won't let me. But this is my TikTok channel. I believe I have 15 videos. So I'm going to talk about the specs of the iPhone 14. Now, I have an iPhone 14 box, but the iPhone 14 is not in it. Let me go ahead and get it. This is an iPhone 14 box. Here we have the iPhone 14. This is the midnight color. Now, the phone itself is not in here. This is just a random box I found laying around. I wanted to use it to show on the channel, the iPhone 14. And hopefully someday I get to unbox this for real, but that's going to happen next month as I'm getting that phone, hopefully, either before or on my birthday, which is next month. So you guys will get to see an unboxing on this channel, which is something I've wanted to do since day one. I wanted to unbox a phone, an iPhone, on this channel ever since I started it in mid-November, and I just haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. I've fortunately had the opportunity to review devices. You may notice this Android phone is sitting here. I have this as I review to give tutorials, to make videos on showing you how to use Android, making different tutorial videos on how to customize the Android. I am not going to use this as my main phone. This is just a device to do tutorials on and talk about One UI 7 and show all of its features, as I want to branch out and cover Android as well is I know some of my subscribers that follow me on YouTube and TikTok probably use an Android. They all don't have an iPhone. So I want to do tutorials on both platforms so you will get some tutorials for Android as well. Even though my channel is known for iOS content, I will do tutorials when I can on Android as well. That is why I have this device. Now, the iPhone 14, and I will be reading your comments. They just come in really tiny on the iPhone, so I will be reading them on the iPad here. So let me take a second to look at some of you guys' comments. Let me just turn my brightness down here. And you guys can ask me questions and I will answer your questions. Trying to see if you guys ask me questions here. So you guys can ask me questions and I am going to answer them. Now, here we have an iPhone 14 in midnight. Now, I tracked it, or looked it up rather, as I'm planning on getting this device. It's really affordable. The iPhone 14 has a really affordable price. It's under $400, just above $300. And these are some of the colors you get it in. This is like a blue type of color. The other one, midnight. We have I believe Apple calls this a purple. Okay, now I've lost my colors. And we have a red. Product red is a nice color, but I don't think I'll go for that as I'm upgrading from a product red iPhone 12. That I've had this iPhone, which I'm currently live streaming off of it, for 3 years. I've had this iPhone 12 for 3 years. It will be 3 years next week. I'll do a video on May 31st to talk about how it's held up for 3 years. I'm probably going to either film that video on this device or probably my iPad. Now, talking about the specs of the iPhone 14, well, the iPhone 14 is really wonderful. It has some great specs. Hold on. Let me just watch part of my stream back. I want to make sure I mention my TikTok in there. I had to replace the bulb on this. Okay, yes, I did. Okay. As I was saying, let me just turn up the brightness a little bit. So here's the specs of the iPhone 14 from the information I've researched. The iPhone 14 has a 1.5 megapixel rear camera, as well as a 2.4 megapixel ultra wide camera. The f1.5 aperture, it's an aperture, I said a megapixel. It's a 1.5 aperture wide camera and an f2.4 aperture ultra wide camera. And both of the cameras are 12 megapixel cameras. Now the true depth camera, which is for Face ID, that is an f1.9 aperture. And it is also a 12 megapixel. Now I'm coming from the iPhone 12. The 12 has a 1.6 aperture, which is a number higher. And it has an f2.4 aperture ultra wide and an f2.2 aperture front facing, which is higher than the f1.9. I think one or more numbers higher, depending on how high the point number goes. Now, as far as what specs you're getting internally with this device, well, the iPhone 14 looks identically similar to the iPhone 13. It has the same diagonal cameras, the same display with the notch. While Apple did make the iPhone 14 Plus, which was the larger model, I just called that an iPhone 13 Pro Max, built in the body of an iPhone 13 regular model, because it was a 6.7-inch display. So they had the 14 and 14 Plus. Both looked like the iPhone 13, diagonally cameras, the diagonal dual cameras on the back. Now, one thing they brought to the iPhone 13 in the iOS 16 betas and the iPhone 14 when it released was Face ID in landscape mode, which is not supported on the iPhone 12. It has Face ID. That's the iPhone 10 and later, all phones, except the iPhone SE, because it has a home button. But Face ID in landscape mode, this allows you to unlock your iPhone in landscape mode. Now, why would you want a feature like this? Well, for standby mode, when you plug your iPhone in sideways and you want to edit a clock or your photos, or you want to change some things around, you don't have to put in your passcode. You can just verify with Face ID in landscape mode. It's a small change, but it's a change that is missing out on the iPhone 12. Also, the iPhone 13 and 14s have cinematic mode for video recordings. Cinematic mode with, on the display, a 60 hertz display. It's pretty basic. There is no 120 hertz. You have to go for the 14 Pros. And for the iPhone 14 Pros, they introduced a feature called Dynamic Island, which is a playful interaction feature where it expands. You can use it to show music. It even has an always on display. Yesterday, I got to hold an iPhone 15 Pro Max. It wasn't the first time I've seen an iPhone with a dynamic island in person. I've seen the 16 Pro Max back in February. I've seen it at Walmart. But I got to hold a 15 Pro Max. I uploaded a little video of it on TikTok. The iPhone 14 comes in a lot of nice colors. It comes in blue, purple, midnight, which is this color, red, and I don't think the color called Starlight, which is white, is there. Whereas the iPhone 13s came in blue, midnight, pink, dark product red, Starlight, which is white, and I believe that's it. But there is one color I missed on both phones. In that following year, as a mid-cycle refresh color, they came out with the green iPhone 13 for both the regular model and the Pro models, the Pro and Pro Max. That color was Alpine green, but on the regular model, it was just called green. Now, on the iPhone 14s in 2023 is a mid-cycle refresh option. They came out with a yellow color just for the regular 14 and 14 Plus. There was no color for the Pro models like it was on the iPhone 13 Pro models. So it has really nice color options. And besides of getting a 1.9 front-facing aperture camera and an f1.5 and an f2.4 wide and ultra-wide camera for the rear-facing, you also get an A15 Bionic chip, which I know is inside the iPhone 15, or the iPhone 13 rather. You get an A15 Bionic chip with one extra GPU, I believe. It might be CPU, I have to do more research, but it's one extra GPU compared to the iPhone 13. And the cameras out of the iPhone 13 Pro, they took out of the Pro iPhone 13 and put it in the regular iPhone 14. I believe all 13 models had cinematic mode, or it could have been just the regular 13s. I have to do more research. But they have cinematic video mode. And also, on the iPhone 14, you have satellite connectivity, crash detection, emergency SOS via satellite for no signal areas. You have a lot. Now, I know those are small details to understand compared to the iPhone 13 for them looking so similar. But coming from an iPhone 12, to me, those are somewhat large details. As on my iPhone 12, I have the wider notch, whereas on the iPhone 14 and 13, you have the smaller notch. I'm coming from an iPhone with 64 gigabytes of storage, going to an iPhone such as the iPhone 14 with 128 gigabytes of storage. Now, cinematic mode, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I have to do research. I haven't really got a chance to test it out as I don't have an iPhone that support it. My iPhone 12 has night mode where you can film in dark areas and it will lighten it up. I've done camera tests on my videos. I go to my shorts. That's my live streams. Hold on here, guys. Oh, I passed it up, of course. Hi, everyone. Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And in this video, I want to do an iPhone 12, both a low light and a light test. I did a video. Now, you guys might not be able to see it perfectly as it's a lot of reflection, but I'm going to try to show you as best as I can here. And I checked my channel. I believe it was December 3rd, 2020. So those are some of the camera tests. I'm going to go into my office closet to show you the low light test. It's supposed to lighten up the room a little bit. It works better at night. You probably can't see anything, but it works a lot better during the night. Looking out the window and testing it that way, it works a lot better at night. But the iPhone 12 does have low light. So that's one advantage I'm getting. The 14 and 13 also have it, I believe. So both phones have night mode, cinematic mode on the 12, 14 and 13 rather. The 12 doesn't have it. Hold on, let me take a look at your comment here. I'm doing good. And you are right, I am almost at 200 subscribers. I currently have 198. I also have a TikTok channel that you guys can follow me at as well. I will not be live streaming on TikTok as I'm new to that platform when it comes to making videos. I've been watching them on TikTok for a couple years, but I don't think I will be live streaming. For one, because there is no way to view my videos afterwards. And two, I just don't know how to live stream on TikTok. I have to look up how to do that. But if you want to see my TikTok channel, I'm going to go into my description here. This is my TikTok channel. I am changing the name to Hawkins Tech. It wouldn't let me change it, as if you change it one time, you have to wait a week to change it again. But I am going to be changing it. Let me open it up in a different browser. Is Google Chrome or Safari rather, is making it a desktop version. So this is me, my TikTok channel. You guys can follow me on TikTok if you do watch it. I just won't be live streaming. I may consider it, but that's my TikTok channel. It is linked in the description of my channel banner if you guys want to find it. Hold on one second. I just got to turn the volume down because I don't want to get any not great things and get demonetized. Okay, you said you followed me. Again, this is my TikTok channel. Expect the name change. But I will be posting videos and I will be unboxing. This is not it. This is just a random iPhone 14 box that was just laying around. There is no iPhone 14 in here. I'm just using this box to show the phone that I will be getting. It probably won't come in this box as it's a refurbished iPhone 14. But I will absolutely be getting that device and sharing it with you guys. Let me read your comment. So you're getting a lot of features with the iPhone 14, and how it holds up in 2025, I would say I would have to use it and test it out, but I'm sure it would hold up perfectly. I've been using my iPhone 12 for 3 years. Three years straight. I am going to make videos when the iPhone 17 comes out later this year. I just won't be able to unbox it. I honestly want to get the iPhone 16, but that would be quite expensive. But I will still make tons of videos for the iPhone 17. I'll probably have screenshots and pictures, and I will place them in the Craft app, which is a third-party note-taking app that I've been using for a couple years. I honestly think it's really great. So I'll place the iPhone 17 photos in here and then screen record a video talking about them. I just won't be able to unbox it in person. But what I will be able to unbox in person as soon as next month is the iPhone 14. You guys will get to see that on the channel. I know it doesn't have Apple Intelligence and it doesn't have its Pro counterpart features like the dynamic island and the additional telephoto camera, but that's totally okay because it's still a new phone to me coming from the iPhone 12, which honestly is a good phone, but I can do with a storage upgrade because I have 64 gigabytes. I haven't ran out of storage yet, but 64 gigabytes isn't really enough to use, especially editing videos, but thankfully on my iPad, which has the same amount of storage, I haven't ran out of storage and I still have a good amount left. So I'm not quite worried about the iPad. But maybe in a couple years, I will try to get the iPad Pro. Not this year, but in a couple years. Maybe next year or the year after. But right now, I only want to focus on upgrading my iPhone and worry only about that for right now. As the plan is, I'm going to uninstall CapCut off of my iPad. Then I'm going to download it on my iPhone 14 along with iMovie, which I'm sure will be pre-installed already, so I won't have to download it. I won't be using iMovie a ton, as I am going to be honest. iMovie is nice, but I don't like the fact that it fades out when editing to the next scene, and it crops portrait mode videos. So those two things I don't really like. I may use it from time to time, but I'm mainly going to be using CapCut, which is an app I use on a daily basis to edit my videos. The video that you guys saw this morning, iOS 18.5 good update, I edited that video using CapCut. So I've been using CapCut for about a month, and honestly, it's done the job for me. Like this video right here that I uploaded a couple hours ago, iOS 18.5 good update. I edited that video using CapCut. I am going to continue to use that app to its full potential, except I'm going to uninstall it off the iPad and reinstall it on my iPhone 14, which will have more storage. I can edit longer videos and not have to worry about anything. So I am looking forward to that. And I am excited to see the new iPhone 14 wallpaper. I know I can easily download it off of the internet and look it up on Google and save it to my photos and have the wallpaper there. But having the actual phone itself gives me unlimited access to the wallpapers, as I don't really keep a ton of photos. Every time I save a new wallpaper, the old one goes. I don't really keep 1,000 wallpapers on my iPhone. I know a lot of you guys might think I would, but I don't. That might change when I get my iPhone 14, as I'll have more storage and I'll keep a lot of photos and wallpapers. But right now, I probably won't do that. But I will have a lot of wallpapers to choose from. The wallpaper for the blue iPhone, the one for this color, which is midnight, the one for the purple iPhone, the one for the red iPhone, and then one for the yellow iPhone. There's the blue, midnight, red, and purple color. And there's also yellow. So there's 5 colors. I believe initially it was 4 when it came out. But I am excited to unbox the iPhone 14. Very excited to unbox this device. And speaking of the iPhone 14, it is really affordable. This is the Walmart websites. It's very affordable. It's a very affordable device. So I'm really looking forward to unboxing the iPhone 14. I'm just excited to own this device. I mean, using the iPhone 12 for 3 years, it's a good phone, the iPhone 12. But the storage option, it's okay, but it's not that great. That is why I'm getting the iPhone 12, or the iPhone 14 rather. Now give me 1 second here. I just need to take a look at something. So I'm really excited to unbox this and review it. I will say it will be my first unboxing on the channel. And I'm probably going to keep the box because why not? I still have my iPad Air box down there. So I'm going to make this iPhone 14, not this one. Well, it's going to be a box, but it's not going to have the logo on it. It's just going to be a refurbished model. But I'm going to set it up exactly like I have my current iPhone. Same home screen, wallpapers, apps, icons. And then I'm going to keep my iPhone 12. And I do have plans for that device. It is going to become the iPhone 12, the one I'm live streaming on, is going to become my beta tester. I'm going to use it to run iOS 19. I'm going to run iOS 19 developer beta on my iPhone 12 whilst keeping my iPhone 14 on iOS 18.5.1, and then later iOS 18.6. And if it releases before iOS 19, iOS 18.7. Then the official public version of iOS 19. And the iPhone 14 should get support for 2 more years. This year will make 3 years since it's released. So I would say it will stop receiving iOS updates. It's going to get support next year on iOS 20. The year after that, 2027, on iOS 21, which is 5 years. I would say iOS 22 is 6 years. Then it will stop receiving iOS updates in 2028. So in 2028, is when this will stop receiving updates, whereas my iPhone 12 will stop receiving updates next year. So next iOS version, iOS 20, is going to be the last one for the iPhone 12. But iOS 22 is going to be the final one for the iPhone 14. Now, I can ask Google Gemini. Just let me turn the volume down. And also, this device is low, so I'm gonna have to charge it up when I'm done live streaming. How many years of iOS updates will the iPhone 14 receive?
The iPhone 14, released on September 16, 2022, is expected to receive iOS updates until approximately 2027 or 2029. Apple typically provides major iOS updates for 5 to 7 years after a device is released.
Wow, it could make it as far as iOS 23, which will be released in 2029, I believe, if my math is not off with that. iOS 23 could be released 2029. So if it gets 7 years, that's incredible. It depends on hardware limitation and processor, because the iPhone 6S got 7 years. The iPhone 7 got, I believe, 5 to 6 years. Well, let's backtrack here. The iPhone 7 got 5 full years of software support, and the 6S that came before it, which was late 2015, I believe got 6 years in 2021. And the iPad Air 2, this was the oldest supported. This one had 7 years. It really depends on hardware limitation, but just know you're going to get 5 to 7 years of iOS updates with any iPhone you buy. And I would say by that time in 2028, I would have probably upgraded again to the iPhone 16. So I am definitely, hopefully, getting the iPhone 14, and I'm reviewing it, unboxing it on the channel, and I'll get a really nice case, a very affordable but really nice case as well. So you will get to see that on this channel. I'm really looking forward to unboxing this as a birthday gift for me next month. If you're using the iPhone 14, leave a comment on this live stream, and also comment how is it held up for you and what is your battery health. As I share my battery health in all of my videos, or all of my follow-up videos, it's 83%, which is okay, but this iPhone 12 is not getting me through a day as much. Especially that I'm a heavy user, it's not really getting through a day. Let me open back up YouTube so I can see your guys' comments. You have the iPhone 15. The 15 is nice. Is it the Pro or Pro Max model? As I'm going to get the standard iPhone 14. I honestly want to get the Pro Max, the 14 Pro Max. As I really want to see the dynamic island and all of the features. Okay, so you have the 15 Pro Max. I kind of miss having a Pro Max device. I had a 12 Pro Max. Unfortunately, something happened to it. I won't get into that in this video, but I got an iPhone 12 as my replacement. But I do miss having a Pro Max iPhone. I love the large screen on those devices, but their standard models are okay as well. But the iPhone 14 is going to be really great for its 6.1-inch vibrant display, XDR display, the smaller notch, the true depth camera, and a nice battery life. I don't know what kind of battery life this will get, as it's been out for almost 3 years with the iPhone 14. I thought about getting the 16E. I honestly did. But I think I'll go with the 14. If the 16E is affordable, it's a little bit more expensive than the iPhone 14. A little bit more. But I am still going to go for the iPhone 14. I'm really excited to unbox this and show it to you. And use this as my main device. And also take my iPhone 12 and use it for beta testing, which is something that I really am looking forward to doing, as iOS 19 is releasing soon. So I'm going to get a nice case and review the iPhone 14. I'm going to talk about the camera specs, all of the typical things, maybe download Geekbench 6 and run some tests on this device, see how the numbers are. So I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing this when I get it next month. Again, this is just a box. There isn't really anything in here. But I'm going to get the actual device sometime in June. I believe on my birthday or before it, I'm not really sure. But whenever I do get it, I will make a nice long video talking about my favorite things about the iPhone 14, what it's like upgrading from an iPhone 12. I mean, if you're coming from an iPhone 13, there isn't really much difference because the 13 and the 14 look identical. You have the crash detection and emergency SOS via satellite. Those are really the only two new features you have, and especially with the, well, also the one extra GPU in the A15 chip. So those are 3 incremental changes. Other than that, you don't really get much that is different compared from the 14, the 13 or the 14. But coming from the iPhone 12, on the other hand, there is some things that is worth noticing, like the smaller notch and the diagonal cameras, and cinematic mode, the A15 Bionic chip inside. Those are different things that is, to me, worth an upgrade, especially coming from a 64 gig iPhone, going to an iPhone 14 with 128 GB. I would say it's worth the upgrade. So hopefully you guys enjoyed Dynamic Island is better. Honestly, it is. It really is. My next phone in 2 years is going to probably be an iPhone 16. I'm not really sure at that point yet, but right now I'm only focused on just getting this iPhone and just reviewing it, owning it, using it, but also keeping my iPhone 12 for beta testing, as I really want to install iOS 19. I might install beta 2 if I get it in late June, iOS 19 beta 2, Or I might install the public beta. I'm not really sure. But I'll worry about that next month, as that's the month of my birthday, and I'm getting that iPhone sort of as a birthday present, I would say. So I will unbox it for you guys on this channel. You're gonna get to see that. Well, my birthday is not till June 24th. But thank you anyway. Okay, I'm going to end this live stream now. My name is Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And looking forward to unboxing that new iPhone 14 in midnight. And I will post a video on TikTok as well when I get the device. I'll do a little review on TikTok. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And I look forward to the month of June for what it will bring. New iOS software, and finally, an iPhone unboxing that I've been waiting for months. I will see you guys in my next video. And make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. If you want to see the link again, this is the link to my TikTok. This is my TikTok, so make sure you guys follow me. I have a goal to get to 30 followers on TikTok by July or June 1st. So I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I will see you guys later.